its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream. My poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Boy, that speech, no matter how many times it's played, Owen, I always get so emotional about it. And that's just a part of the speech. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, really. It's a big deal. You're in tune to Roots FM 96.1 on the FM band. It's now time for Mek Wi Talk Tuesdays with Jeffrey Tavares.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Welcome to Mek Wi Talk here on Roots 96.1 FM, where we're listening and watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. It is 11:04 in Kingston City, Jamaica. 12:04 in Miami, Florida. This morning, we're going to speak to the issue of roads in St. Thomas and what is going on in St. Thomas, because not only St. Thomas alone, but in West Rural St. Andrew, the constituency of Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, also some demonstration in Clarendon with market vendors and taxi operators and police and all sort of thing going on. I think I'm being joined in studio with Owen Brown. I'm not sure. I think I'm being joined in studio with Owen Brown. But this morning is going to be a very robust morning. We're going to speak to the president of the St. Thomas Chamber of Commerce. And also, I think Ms. Mullins is the secretary of the St. Thomas Chamber of Commerce too. We have Mr. Mercer Clark, the chairman of the Crime Prevention Unit in St. Thomas. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, or lady and gentlemen. Please unmute your mic.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, ma'am. So what happened to your president?
Mr. President should be on his way as far as was confirmed when we met last night.
Okay.
But I can represent until he gets here.
Yes,
for sure.
no problem.
The collective voice of the chamber.
Yes, I must say that I invite Mr. Anderson from China Harbor Engineering to come on the program. He said that he can't make it this morning,
Yes.
but there is some meeting scheduled with Mr. Stephen Shaw pertaining to the whole road infrastructure in St. Thomas. And he will advise me some more on the meeting and the time. You're saying something, ma'am?
No, continue.
Yes. So we're going to hopefully they'll tell us what's going on. I see wherein the president of the Chamber of Commerce is signing in. I know my co-host Owen Brown has some questions for the chamber, but let I begin first.
Sure.
Let I begin. I'm gonna start with Mr. Mercer Clark. Although you're the female, but I'm gonna start with him first. Sir Clark, tell me what is going on. You were on a program with me last Sunday evening, and
Yes.
the taxi operators were very disgusted of what is going on within St. Thomas and the roadway, and the contractors will dig up the road and left the road as if there's nothing there. They don't do nothing about it. They put in little man and little nothing gravel. Speak to about that for me, please.
Good morning, Jeffrey. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here. I don't know where to start. Honestly, I am confused. I am upset. I am disgusted. Just name any adjective you want to use, whatever, to describe what is happening. It's just unbearable. You know, every time I drive on that road, you know that I am a minister. And it's one thing I always dropping on my spirit, Agpen Road. I don't know where it's coming from, but it feels like you're in a pigsty. That's what the roadway feel like. And for a parish that is in the midst of development, evolution, or explosion, it's really disappointing. I don't think the road work has to be handled in the manner it's being handled. I don't think it has to be in the condition it's in. One of the things that I noticed that they just dig, they just dig everywhere and they fix nothing back. Some months ago, they dug out a section of the side of the road, right beside an intersection going to the licensed primary school. And it was an open ditch for months. Nothing was done. And it's when a car fell in it, the same evening the car fell in it, is the same evening they backfill back the hole. So why did they dig it out? And you see different locations like that. They're making two box culvert bridges, one in license by the Sterling Bakery and the Pavilion, and one by Retreat by the Alexander Park housing scheme. And the pace that these work to construct these box culverts is taking, the pace is just really, is less than a snail pace. I see the contractor on the western side from the roundabout to Yalas built several of them already. And in a matter of weeks or days, and it's drivable. So I don't understand why on this side there's a difference. I just don't understand it. And it's causing traffic jams. In fact, the one by the Sterling Bakery, the detour road that they made is over a river, a dry river sometime. And sections of it is sinking. So if the rain continue, that has been happening, sorry, we're going to have some problems.
Okay. Madam Secretary.
Yes.
Madam Secretary Mullings, I see we're in the president. I'm going to talk to the president after you. You being the secretary of the Chamber of Commerce, I need to find out something from you. Have the Chamber of Commerce addressed the situation in putting pen to paper to the Prime Minister, to the Governor General, to Stephen Shaw, to the mayor who believe that he's not the servant of the people of St. Thomas? Have you all put in a letter, pertaining to it, to them?
Well, we're currently working together to pen something and have a collective voice. We're meeting tomorrow to confirm, make sure that the voices of the people of St. Thomas and the Chamber of Commerce is represented. What I realize is that on different legs of the development, there are different things happening. And I guess it's because there are different companies in charge. So as far as I've understood, from Harborview to Yalas Bridge, that's the China Harbor, that's working on that leg, and they're projecting to finish in about March 2023. And to be honest, there's a little bit less inconveniences, even though there are often inconveniences. I guess you're constructing a road and there's a lot of coordination that have to take place. So there'll be some inconveniences, but it's less on that leg. I was told that from Poorman's Corner to Pamphlet, there's a company called Build Right Company, and then from Pamphlet to Morant Bay, there's S&G Company. So I think that there has to be some kind of coordination and learning together and learning from. If China Harbor is finding a way to do it well on their leg from Harborview to Yalas, then things can be learned from them in order to be more effective on our side. China Harbor is the same people that will be doing the Morant Bay Urban Center. And I think as people of St. Thomas, that's saying as this development comes, we want to make sure that we're getting jobs and so on. We ought to be certified and we ought to be doing our work well. So that's one of the things about the chamber. We want to be fair and well informed when we're raising our voices. Understand? So if local companies are doing work, local companies also have the responsibility to make sure that they're doing work well. And if there's certain help and support and capacity building that they need to do well, then they have to let us know. Because as commuters, we have to be patient, but also simple things like making sure that there are proper signages where there's a ditch. The licensed hospital is on that leg out there. there might be an emergency rushing somebody to the hospital. You can hardly use the roadway to get.
Madam Secretary.
Yes.
I was just told that, well, not just told. I was told that down to the fire department is having problem if there's a fire burning down. If there's a house burning down, they they don't have the road to drive on because of what is going on. Before you answer that question, if Owen is in studio, have any question for Mr. Clark and Madam Secretary, we're gonna go to the president next in a couple minutes.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. There was something just said a while ago. Regarding the responsibility and who is responsible for which leg, Yalas, and all of that. And with the chamber seeing these concerns, that's there regarding whichever leg, can they or what can be done then to say the local contractors to do better, or what are some of the things that you're seeing that the local contractors are doing that probably Czech is not doing, and what do you think that you can put forward to, whether it's a local or even Czech, to get the level of coordination between the contractors?
I think collective work is often a challenge in Jamaica, generally speaking. In St. Thomas too, like other places. It's almost, once it's a different company, it's almost like there's a competition between people. I'm not saying this is what is happening with the persons who are doing road construction, but I'm saying if there's a certain leg that's doing a certain part of it better, then other legs can also learn from them. Some simple things like there's not proper signage where there are ditches. As far as I know, there should be some safety managers that are working on constructions like this, and there should be a check at least every single day, because a truck can, even if you put the sign, a truck can come and lick down the sign, or anything is possible like that. So you have to make sure that there are consistent checks. Even the people that are holding up the signs that say stop and go, sometimes they're not working effectively as well. We need somebody to check that. Are they choosing the time of days to do certain parts of the work well? Say, that's 6 to 9 people getting to work, 4 to 7 people going home. Are they choosing the time of day to do the kind of heavier parts of the work well? So, I'm not a construction expert, but I talk to the construction experts that are on the roadways quite often. And, this is what some of them who are on the parts that are being handled better are saying that we could do. So definitely as a chamber, we need to raise our voice to flag to say, these are the places that things are not working well. And we also need people of St. Thomas to speak to us, the chamber, because we can't be everywhere at all times. So if something is happening in your particular community on the road network, let us know. You can email any one of us. I think our emails are quite public, and we're arranging to get our social media up and running as well, because in this day and age, that's where people go to see things.
Great. And regarding employment of personnel from St. Thomas, do you guys have a number on that to say, well, for the work, we know that, say, 50%, 20% of the workers are from St. Thomas, and we are benefiting from this work?
I know that especially the legs that are closer into Morant Bay, and deep in St. Thomas, as far as I've heard, are some of them are local contractors. I don't know the details of that, to be honest. And I know that the flag people and those people, most of them are definitely from St. Thomas. I don't think as a chamber, I think that is a challenge to us to kind of say, in terms of percentage or numbers of people who want X amount of people to be from St. Thomas. For the urban center, we have definitely said that in terms of earmarking certain areas for local businesses. We have definitely been raising our voice there, but in terms of the workers on the road, I think that's definitely a challenge for us, because it's not just from Arborview to Morant Bay. There are other road networks. I went up to Bath just Sunday, and that road needs a lot of work. There's a heritage site up there and so on. So, there are other roads and other works to be done. So in terms of advocating for local people, but at the same time, we're the chamber that's balanced. So we're going to say local people need to position themselves as well to make sure they're working well when they get the contracts and they're certified to get the contracts. Because we can't be out there advocating for you to get it and they run it well, because as a chamber, we're not going to feel satisfied to know that we're raising our voice for our people, but they're not standing up to do their part well. You know what I mean? So we're a very balanced chamber.
Okay, great. And also with the work going on, the businesses along the different corridors, how is it that their business is being affected by this work?
I mean, there are some people that are actually making more money, like the corner shop, because people are working. So they need food, they need things, you know. So on the bright side, they're getting that kind of support. Obviously, when you're constructing a road, some roads have to be rerouted, you know. So some old parts of the road network will be used, but other parts of the road, you know, some persons will be displaced. So quite a bit of that is happening as well. But as far as I know a few people who have been displaced, and they have been dealt with fairly. I'm not saying there aren't the horror stories, but they have gotten their letters, they have had their negotiation in terms of what the payoff is, where they're going to go, and so on. So, I mean, wherever people are having challenges where they feel like they were unfairly treated, we want them to know as well that there's a chamber for them to speak to say, you know, this has happened. I feel like I'm not paid off enough, or I'm displaced, and there hasn't been a conversation about what's going to happen with me and my business. And even during the time when they're displaced, if it's going to take them 5 months to get back somewhere, they're going to need to eat in that 5 months. So, you know, those are some of the conversations that we're having with people, and seeing how we can include that, which is why we weren't too hasty to just send something to the Prime Minister or wherever, because we want to make sure that we're covering the issues well. But of course, we're not going to have analysis paralysis either. At this point, we need to submit what we have gathered to date.
With me, we also actually we're here talking to the president and chairman of the Crime Prevention Union St. Thomas, the president of the Chamber of Commerce in St. Thomas, and the secretary. Mr. President, unmute your mic for me and your camera, sir, if you can. Mr. President, Mr. Campbell, are you there, sir?
Good afternoon, Mr. Tavares. How are you doing? And to the listeners of Roots 96 FM, my name is Eccleston Campbell. I'm currently the president of the St. Thomas Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, sir.
I am good.
Go ahead.
In relation to the road.
Before you go there, sir, remember you're going to say, before you go there, you as the president for the Chamber of Commerce, at any time at all, the 2 members of parliament for the constituency, one for East St. Thomas and one for West St. Thomas, is that so? You have the Dr. Michelle Charles for Eastern St. Thomas, and Western St. Thomas, you have James Robertson. Have any time at all you have any meeting with them, sir?
Well, to tell you the truth, we 3 meetings was scheduled to meet with Dr. Charles at the East. The latest one was last week, Thursday. But two of them at the time, where to all the schedule fall, it was tied up with my duty as a pest controller, because I had customers that I have to service, and I couldn't wait that long. Well, for the other one, like the one for last week, she called back to say that she was in an emergency meeting in Kingston and would have to schedule another one, or probably do a telephone meeting. But I haven't heard from her since last week, Thursday, in relation to going forward with a meeting.
So have you heard anything from Mr. Robertson? Mr. Robertson?
No, I haven't heard anything from Mr. Roberts. The last time I spoke with Mr. Roberts was during the last election campaign. We happened to meet at Yallas. To tell you the truth, years ago I've spoken to him, but I have lost his number, and I had yet to go.
Mr. President, just to kind of come in there, Mr. Robertson was actually at the recent town hall meeting that was held regarding the urban center in Morant Bay. And the road was spoken about in the context of the leg from Harborview to Albion being completed by March 2023, and the fact that the road development will continue, and it's a guarantee that we'll have great roads whenever the deadline is for the other legs. I have spoken
hold
to
on,
him.
hold on, Madam Secretary. Who said that to you, ma'am?
Mr. James Robertson.
So hold on, you know, what me want to find out, you know, because I tell you something, you know, we're on this program and we're only chatting. The question that I want to ask, as the Chamber of Commerce president, and you are the secretary,
yes,
and Mr. Roberts said that to all I know about this and about that. Isn't James Roberts promised the people of St. Thomas a lot of things that never come true?
Well, and I guess this is where you're going, it's our responsibility to hold our leaders accountable. Yeah, and I personally will hold my leaders accountable. And if there's any wishy-washy way that I've been doing it over the years, at this time, based on where we are, is not time for a wishy-washy approach. So whether they are my friends or not, once a promise is made, the people of St. Thomas are vigilant. You know, you talk about the Paul Bogle spirit. I think the Paul Bogle spirit is alive more than any other time. So every promise and every date that we have heard, trust me, they are documented. When we were at that urban center meeting the other day, every single promise date that was said was documented, and we are watching and following up. The same thing, I don't know what the promise dates are for the other legs, but I know they said March 2023 from Harborview to Albion, and we're looking. We're watching, you know, and we will advocate and take action where it's not.
As the president was touching the road now,
yes,
something was sent to me yesterday.
Are you ready for me?
Yes, sir. Hold on a minute for me. Something was sent to me yesterday, Mr. President, from in St. Thomas to my WhatsApp page, that it is a disgrace where the taxi they have to park. I think it's next to the fire station. Am I correct? So Clark,
Yes.
unmute your mic and talk.
Yes, it's next to it's right behind the fire station. Actually, it's actually a road. It's a parish council road that leads to from the main road go up to a community called Stanton.
Stanton.
And on that stretch of road in Stanton, there's a lot of cane farming used to happen there. So when the cane trucks come down, there is a hard left turn to make to go to the sugar factory, but that turn is not able to be made by those trucks when they're laden. Or even when they're empty, they can't make that turn. So they have to go through that road and come down to the main road and then make a easier left turn to traverse east.
Okay.
But they transformed that road into a bus park some years ago. And I have been lobbying as to
It's
why
not a bus park.
and for it to
It's
be
not a bus
changed.
park.
Hold on, gentlemen, people, hold on a minute for me, hold on. We don't have enough time here. I want to ask Mr. President of the Chamber of Commerce. I'm not drilling him, you know. And if Owen wanted to, you can jump in anytime I want to jump in, Owen. The question I want to ask Mr. President is this.
No problem.
You, as the president of the Chamber of Commerce, you are one of the servants of the people of St. Thomas too. At any time at all, have you met with the Minister of Local Government pertaining to the parish council roads? Have you met with the councillor? Since they can't find MP, they must can find the councillor. And have you met with the mayor who believe that the people of St. Thomas cannot talk to him? Have you met with anybody of them, any one of them, sir?
I have spoke to the mayor on various occasions in relation to the so-called bus park that is around there. I even sent some videos to him when we had an heavy rain, you know, sometimes here back in last year. And I tried to communicate with him on a one-on-one basis sometime. I know he's a very shy, he can be very shy sometimes. I'm not sugarcoating anything, but the real issue that I want to talk about now is the way all the chamber is functioning. Huh?
Why he meant politics for if he's shy? What make him enter politics if he shy?
Well,
Anyway, continue answer the question for me, please.
all right. I know him. All right. I want to talk some more about the function of the chamber. Since you had mentioned, you know, if what we do to by going to government and stuff like that. The chamber operates in a way where when we meet as a All Island Chamber Council, we normally document our reports, and all the reports go into a compilation, and that compilation usually goes straight to Parliament. So it's not for the Prime Minister or the other ministers or the shadow cabinet to say that they don't know what is happening. And we have gone to the extent that in the last quarterly report that was sent in, the issue of the road was pointed out to Parliament in that in those areas that we have the discrepancies. And we had even asked them to ask the contractor to step up their game or step out, because the road from, and it's not the whole of the road I've been working on, because it cut off of Prospect, and you would have to travel way ahead, go all the way up to Hector's Rivers again before you would have been able to start another construction. And that road leading to those areas is very bad. In fact, since I was a child, I could have never known that a main road and some district road would have been so bad. Because when the previous government was in power, and I'm not speaking politics now, because the Chamber of Commerce has nothing to do with politics in relation to parties and politics. But they used to have a kind of road maintenance program that, you know, it wasn't 100% per se, but maybe about 70%. So you could drive on your district road, you could use your main road to some aspect. I know for the Portland leg were used to very bad, but coming through St. Thomas, you could drive to Kingston within an hour or an hour plus, you know, without any headache, compares to now. What we try to say to the government, we said, listen, when we were planning for the road to come to St. Thomas, because it took a long time, back in 2012, I was one of them who was running up and down. And even the people in my business district, like the businessmen and women of Morant Bay, mainly the men, some of them usually tell me, say me drunk, you know, me are mad.
Hold a while for me, Mr. President. Hold your thoughts, Mr. President. You know, me know you're not drinking another drunk road this morning before I come on here. So let's hold a while for me, please.
Drunk road.
Yes, sir. Hold a while for me. We have to take a commercial break so we can do some of the drunk road too. Anyway, we're going to take a commercial break here on Roots 96.1 FM and Mek Wi Talk. We'll be right back.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise.
Ministry of Justice, come access quality service to keep order within the nation. We put together good legislation, legal aid to your pocket. A little is child diversion for you to need expertise. Victim service will help you cope with grief. Restorative justice, build back the peace. No matter where you come from, how we say justice for all Jamaicans. MOJ, Ministry of Justice, come access quality service.
MOJ, taking justice to the people of Jamaica.
Hi, I'm Sharon.
Hi, I'm Marcia.
I'm Adrian. Join us this and every Wednesday morning for Extraordinary Abilities on Roots 96.1 FM. Join us for news, views, and interviews with extraordinary people. Extraordinary Abilities every Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your extraordinary radio station, Roots 96.1 FM. It's gonna be fun, informative, and educational, but most of all, it will be extraordinary. Extraordinary.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created.
Welcome back to Mek Wi Talk here on Roots 96.1 FM. wherever you're listening from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean, we're talking about the development of St. Thomas, the forgotten parishes by both political parties in this country. And you have some bench warmers in the House of Parliament who believe that they only go in there and they walk hills and valleys to get the people in vote. And when they get it, they don't business with them anymore. You have some of them, you can't talk to them because they believe that they are Mr. Bull Duppy and Duppy Conqueror, Miss Bull Duppy and Duppy Conqueror. Anyway, we're speaking to the president of the Morant Bay Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Campbell. We're speaking to the secretary, Ms. Mullings, and the Crime Prevention Unit Chairman, Mr. Clark. Mr. President, welcome back, sir. Unmute your mic for me. You were talking about some road. Yes, sir. You were talking about some road that the People's National Party have when they're in power, they have something going on. So the Labour Party not have it. Is that what you're trying to say, sir?
Well, I wanted to touch on, let me touch the story of how the whole road issue begins.
Go ahead, sir.
So when we opted to, get this road development come through, well, surprisingly, many people didn't believe it because they were saying that other elites have tried and have failed. But maybe what they were lacking is the communication with all the chambers in the country. Because apart from writing a report in your minutes book and putting down your book, that doesn't go anywhere. You have to been sending reports. And it's the reports that really does the job. Now, one of the negotiation, when we happen to have a negotiation at one of our meetings, China Harbor has desist from coming all the way to the east after the highway was scrapped. When they realized that there will be no toll fee to be collected on this stretch of road, then they decided that they would only come through the hills of Grandspen and come all the way to Yallas. So
hold on, Mr. President. Hold on, Mr. President. Mr. President, hold on a minute. It is a fact that China Harbor decided not to come further with because there was no toll fee to collect.
That's what I understand. And if I'm shaking out a can of worms here, that's what I understand.
Shake out the can of worms, afraid. Shake it out.
They decided not to come this far because the highway, they had really wanted to build an highway.
Hold on, Mr. President. You're saying something, Owen?
Mr. President is breaking up. And I don't know the part of the story, so I can't even help.
Hold on.
Mr. President, you have to restate what he says.
They were saying that they won't. And are you hearing me?
Mr. President, you have to repeat what you just said because we wasn't here. He's gone now.
He fell off.
Yes, it's internet probably.
We're having some internet issues.
Jeffrey.
Yes.
What I understand, why China Harbor stopped at Yallas, there was some sort of lobbying that local contractors should be included in the scope of work, because a lot of the contractors in Jamaica was upset that China Harbor or foreign companies was getting all of these major development contracts.
That's what I heard.
There was a thinking to say that they would split the roadwork contracts. And I just remember that I was at a minister's patronal meeting where Stephen Shaw was. And this was about 2018, 2017. And he said that he was telling us exactly when the work would start, and it couldn't start 2019 and all of that. And he said that they were going to split the contracts in 5 parts from Yallas to East and to Cedar Valley. So that's why you have Buildrite, S&G, you have Alcar, Smiths, and you have Kinetic. And an additional contract was issued from Prospect to Ardley Crossing, that's almost to the border of St. Thomas. So that
Mr.
was what the
Clark,
thinking was, to kind of share the work with locals. And
Let me.
Mr. Clark, hold on a minute for Mr. President, because your internet going in and out. Look like they're working some guzumpa internet up there.
Yeah, they are good.
Anyway,
This is
the question, hold on, please. So, Mr. Clark, can you tell me how much contract is given to the one main road going into St. Thomas?
all right. As I said, Bill Wright is from Yallas to I think between Pamfrick somewhere or Botany Bay. And then S&G is from there to the roundabout in Morant Bay. Then going towards Seaford up to Cedar Valley is Alcar and Smith. And then from the roundabout to Prospect is S&G. No, not S&G, Kinetic. Kinetic has that one. And there's another company, Jeff E. Barnes or something like that, got the contract, but then they subbed it out to Kinetic also from Prospect to Ardley Crossing. So Kinetic has two pieces of it. So it's confusing. Well, on the episode, you're breaking up.
Mr. President, your internet connection is going in and out. We can hardly hear the audio coming from you, sir. Anyway,
yes, as I was saying, Jeffrey.
You know what I realize? Hold on a minute. You know what I realize? Is a Nyama food mentality going on, you know?
Definitely.
It's a Nyama food mentality going on. Where somebody in a government, somebody high up in a government, then Crownies has some construction company, but then just sign, then they just go register it. They never want to back one of their life.
That's how it is.
That's what is going on. And the people must stand up for this nonsense that's going on in this country. We must ask for accountability. How on earth can you have one main road, have 40 team contractor? How on earth can that happen? And we sit down in this country and accept the stupidness that goes on? They don't have no proper signage. I get to understand that a gentleman is coming in somewhere from out of town, crash into a truck or something, some roller. It didn't have any signage at night, nothing at night to show that there was a roller there.
I heard it's someone from the construction company's membership.
You know, see what's going
the
on?
Same one that is doing the road.
Jeffrey.
Go ahead,
let me give you a little spin. I might get in trouble for this one. But S&G and Smith is one company, you know. They just split it to get the contract. It's one company, S&G and Smith.
S&G and Smith get the contract.
It's one company.
And they subdivided out to 40
one has, well, you know, so it's the buildup of the contractors is there's a question. But one of the things that has me pondering in my mind, I remember leading up to an election, one of the sitting MPs did an interview in print media and said that look at the highway that they have built for St. Thomas, and the work never started. So I never understood that article, but then they said that the work will be finished in 3 years. I don't remember quite exactly the start date, but I'm almost certain we are probably in the last year of it. And then I read an article sometime this year that was saying that the work would finish about 2025, 2026, and how much billions of dollars it's going to cost. My head's so big, so because them the figures that I can't read. So I think there needs to be some scrutiny.
You know, gentle people on this platform. Owen, if you have anything to say, come in, you know, Owen. Gentle people on this platform. I am sitting here and I'm listening to the conversation. Mr. President, Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chairman. I'm listening to the conversation. And I'm saying to myself, does the Chamber of Commerce has power? Does the Citizens Association has power?
Yes.
So why is it that the Chamber don't take it over on themselves I know,
We can
maybe
speak.
chamber. Oh, go ahead, sir. I know chamber people may not get pay a big
Jeffrey,
salary. But what I'm saying is this. Can't we do same way, you all write something and you go to parliament, In the parliament, whenever the parliament gonna start, the speaker asks for petitions. Something got to be done. It cannot continue. We're gonna have 40 subcontractors. The poor people who wants to go and get their medication, what happened to them?
Jeffrey,
The two
I think
MPs
it's
not doing
some.
one cow about nothing.
I think what we need is some kind of transparency, because there could have been a valid case for spreading out the work to include local contractors. But if there is some other thing that is behind the spreading out, and we don't know who are the names or the persons behind the companies, then that's when it becomes a problem. Because if we are honestly spreading out the contracts, so local contractors can get some of the work, and it's not just China Harbor, great. And this is one of the things that the chamber, when we're going to raise our voice, we need to ask for example, transparency. So what are all the legs, who are all the companies, what percentage of each of the thing that they are getting, and who owns these companies? You understand me? Because if local contractors are get some work, we don't really necessarily want to fight that. But if somebody else behind it, and then put them friend name on it, and then everybody does divide up, which is not really divide, is same company getting more than one part of the contract, and somebody else under a different name company, then that's when it becomes a challenge.
You know something? The contractor general of this country, I do not know why we have a PSA meeting or whatever meeting in the House of Parliament. I don't know why we have a contractor general. Because the fact of the matter is, if all of this is going on, and the people of St. Thomas is crying out for help, the member of parliament don't do nothing about it. The contractor general don't do nothing about it. And they subdivide up this contract to build a road to 11 people who have 11. I wonder if some of the companies are registered with the company office of Jamaica. We need to investigate this thing.
We need to investigate that.
I mean, that can be easily checked on the company's office website.
As a chamber. Because I've never gone to the extent to investigate that.
Please investigate it, because it's taxpayers' money.
This road issue.
Lord of mercy.
And if I tell you, Jeffrey, that you're not hearing me, if I tell you that the chamber will be putting its foot down, where all of these mishap is concerned. Next month, we'll be having another quarterly Chamber of Commerce meeting. We have not started to write a report yet, and it's good that we are on this platform now where more collective information has been flowing. And this is where we might have to write a report at this stage just about the road. Nothing else but just about the road. When I was lobbying for Cedar Valley, because I came on several talk show programs, radio station, TV station, and even though it looked as if it was not going to be done, but thank God, a dream, and seeing that dream come into, you're not going to see any Mr. Man or Mr. Woman to spoil it up, because I know they try their utmost best to make the Prime Minister look bad. And I am going to hold, and I'm not going politically now, but I'm going to hold the respect that I have for Mr. Andrew Holness to step out and say, well, then we are going to do this. St. Thomas is the front of Jamaica, not the back. Because when you're approaching from United States in an aeroplane, you would have come to St. Thomas first. And if you're approaching on a ship, you would have come to St. Thomas first. And we ain't gonna sit down and let any little Mr. Man or any Mr. Woman or a director once said to me a couple of years ago that I am doing the two MPs work. That is before we have the new MP at the East. It was then 2 male at the time, and he was saying that, she say, are you do the two MP work?
You used to do Fenton Ferguson walk.
So we know that people lacking in their corner, and we are prepared to approach them, whether them rude, whether them bad, whether them whatever they want to you want to call these names. But we are prepared to speak to these people in regardless of the development. The Prime Minister and the Chamber of Commerce can't be fighting so hard to develop St. Thomas. And we have some people
Hold on, Mr. President, because you keep on saying the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister, the Prime Minister. Let me ask you a question. You are the president for the Chamber of Commerce, and Miss Mullings is the secretary. If Miss Mullings not doing work, what are you doing? A fire?
Well, yes. We can ask you to step aside, and if I am not doing my work, the chamber can ask me to step aside.
Okay.
Jeffrey.
Hold on for me. So if the two members of parliament not doing the work, so the people of St. Thomas has the sole duty to call for a by-election. Get rid of them. Go ahead, Mr. Clark.
Just breaking news. The VP for the USA has tested positive for COVID. Just came across a bulletin, and Abraham Bolton, the first Black Secret Service agent for Kennedy administration, he'll be granted clemency today.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, some conviction some years ago.
Okay, that's good.
Thank
you for that breaking news.
Miss Harris is Jamaican, so we have a talk,
Yes. Thank you very much. We don't have enough time leaving the program, and Mr. President, I'm gonna tell you right now, I am making myself available for any Zoom meeting you want to have in the next quarterly meeting to give you some input if you want to, because it cannot continue wherein the people of this country continue paying taxes. The taxi drivers are feeling it. The normal citizens are feeling it. And the two members of parliament not doing one single iota about nothing. So it leaves to us as community leaders to take this thing in hand and go with it. If we have to go to the House of Parliament, let us do it.
I think historically, though, there is a challenge with not just the chamber, but the people of St. Thomas raising their voices and advocating with sense and substance and forthrightness, like what Paul Bogle did.
Yes.
So, because the Chamber of Commerce representing the people. So if the chamber saying something and everybody else just like, you know what I mean? Then I don't know. So part of our work too is to activate the people. So while we, the chamber, are standing for them, but we want the people to also raise their voices. And if the politicians are aware, local government, MP, all the way up, if they know that St. Thomas people is a set of people where forthright and solid and then can't run put away, then they will do what they're supposed to do. But if they're not being held accountable, not just by the chamber, but by young people raising their voices, by community organizations, by groups. Now people sit down and say, we are waiting for the chamber to raise their voice. You know what I mean? I'm not saying we don't have a responsibility. And we have been raising our voices, as Mr. President said, through the monthly reports. But in this instance, there's a specific thing concerning the road that ought to be a separate thing outside of the report. So I'm going to shut up after this. So let me just say, this program is doing its work because it has pointed out a number of things that we must flag as a chamber in that piece that we're going to submit. So,
yes, because you know why some of the people at St. Thomas afraid, because YMP shut them up anyway. Jeffrey, you shut for your mouth. Or when you have something to say?
Wow. I'm just listening to the conversation, and quite interesting. I was even saying to one of my colleagues that was here that it's been a while, that there's any major development for St. Thomas. And, it's really good that there's this level of development. But with this development, it's then for the level of accountability and transparency to ensure that the contracts that are, issued, and as we're seeing there, to some extent, some level of discrepancy, with companies and names and all of that. So it's for, and we're not fighting, as was said even earlier, we're not fighting any Jamaican companies. Good that we're a part of this build up, and really grateful that Jamaican contractors are a part of it. But the issue is now that we're hoping that it's not just a cronyism thing, and that is really genuine contract issuance, and that it's there not because you know somebody, but it's there because they can do the job, and so far it doesn't sound like it's as about the job. And with the concern of the commerce regarding Jamaican contractors' leg, it's really not looking good on us. No wonder the Prime Minister probably have to say we may have to look for work outside, So it's us kind of blighting ourselves with some of the things that we're doing. And I think it's for us too, as Jamaicans, to hold our representatives accountable for what's going on, because this is crazy. St. Thomas need the improvement, but it's then for us to really ensure that it's done in a way that will definitely benefit the people. The few.
We don't have enough time. Leave, Mr. President, your final word, please, sir.
My final word is that I would definitely want people to hold their responsibilities to what they make the deal for. I would want the both member of parliament and the mayors to come together, because what we are planning now in our little head is to call a stakeholders meeting where we call all the stakeholders in the parish to sit down and properly discuss the fusion that is going on here, because this was not what's promised. It's way, way beyond what was promised, and we are not going to stand for it. We cannot stand for it. We know they can do better, and they have to do better.
Thank you very much. Mr. Marcel Clark, your final word, sir.
Yes, Jeffrey. What I know history has shown us is that St. Thomas doesn't get anything unless we rebel or demonstrate. But I'm not saying to go back to a physical demonstration or a rebellion, but we can use the rebellion of words and rebellion of the media and social media at our advantage. I remember I did an exposure on some erosion on the roadway by Roselle and in Roach Gully. And it came on the 12 o'clock midday news. It never hit 7 p.m. news. But the next day, one of the MP went and did an announcement or improvement work for the road and all of that. But I never saw it fit before that. I remember a couple years ago, a young man organized some demonstrations in the parish, and I wasn't comfortable in the direction it went. I understand the effort, and they blocked the road and they burned fire and stuff like that. And them tricked the young man and tell him to come have a discussion at the police station, and they arrested him. Mark you, what he did was illegal. And he has not been the same since. So I know through history, St. Thomas does not get anything unless we take it by force. I remember a business leader meeting some years ago in a credit union. We invited the then Minister of Mining and Transportation and proposed that we wanted a $1 tariff per ton of aggregate that leaves the parish. And 98% of the aggregate that is mined here goes west, doesn't stay in the parish or go east. And we asked for $1 per ton, and he said it was not possible and it could never happen. And that $1 was to repair the roads. Then just calculate how much money we would have had. We would have had superb road surface from day one till now if we had initiated that effort. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Clark. Ms. Mullings, you have anything to say? 1 minute, please.
I think I'm good. I mean, let's work together. We, the chamber, will hold you accountable. So do we have to do? And that's to every single stakeholder.
Thank you very much, Mr. Marcel Clark, Ms. Mullings, Mr. Campbell, President of the Morant Bay Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Clark, Chairman of the Crime Prevention Unit, Ms. Mullings, Secretary of the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you all for coming. Don't be a stranger to Mek Wi Talk. If you all want to have a program on a Sunday evening, let me know. We can do it. Mr. Clark can get in contact with me. Now you all have my number, can get in contact with me. And if you all want to have me in any meeting you want to have, just let me know. I'll be a part of any meeting you want me to have, because it cannot continue like this.
I support a stakeholders meeting soon with the
Thank you
chamber.
very much, Mr. Tavares.
Thank you very much, sir. All the best.
All the
We're
best.
speaking
All the
to
best. Blessings.
we're speaking to some goodly people from St. Thomas. This is where I'm gonna say so long, but before I go, I have my good friend in studio with me. He's gonna do the final word. Before I go, I'm still calling on Minister Carl Samuda. Minister Carl Samuda, you need to do something about the part program money at Hanover Street in downtown Kingston. The way how the people that speak to the elderly that go down there, it is unbelievable. It is atrocious. It cannot continue like this. I saw a video going around yesterday with a man walking around with a gun. I've never seen a gun like that in my life. I'm wondering if he has unsound mind. And I hope they find him with this gun. Owen, your final word. I'm Jeffrey Tavares saying so long. Owen, your final word.
Yeah, man. Good discussion, and I'm glad that at least the Chamber of Commerce, they will definitely look into some of these and hold the persons responsible or more accountable. No, Sir Clark, bless up, man. Thank you so much.
Blessings, man.
The information.
Yes, hold on, Owen. I'm just asking individuals who are listening or who are watching our YouTube channels, Roots FM YouTube channel, please subscribe. Subscribe to Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel, please. Thank you all very much. Until next week. God bless.
God bless you.
But one day, this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream